Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is a Raid Shadow Legends video. Guys, I've just seen something drop on Discord from Plarium. It's actually a kind of infographic which helps you understand as a newer player when different elements unlock in the game. Yeah, so they've got basically all of the different elements you can unlock which are level locked. And I just wanted to go through and actually give my view on all of these different features in the game, in Raid, and then also just kind of say, do I think they're unlocking them at the right level for players? Does it give new players the right experience when they unlock these features? So I guess we're just going to go through one by one and I'll give my view on it. So Gem Mine, decent feature. You do want to get it early because if you're going to play the game for any length of time, it's an absolute godsend. You get infinite gems as long as you unlock it early. I would say if you're planning to play this game for more than about 2 months, then it's worth unlocking in full because you will get your gems back. So Gem Mine makes some sense to get it early. Clan Boss comes very early, level 2. I don't mind that. I think it's quite cool for a new player to get involved in Clan Boss pretty damn early, even on easy mode, just to try and get a feel for it. I would probably push it back a touch, maybe like level 6 or 7. But ultimately, you're going to be getting it on the first day. And I think that makes some sense. I guess the only thing with Clan Boss is you won't ever start doing some real damage until you're probably about a week in. You know, and you start to get some champions like leveled out. But I think there's no harm giving people this feature, you know, pretty nice and early. Dungeons come in at level 6. It becomes a bit of a red herring when you get dungeons unlocked so early. They do factor in for the newbie tournament. So it kind of gets people right in the mix of doing dungeons. And you probably can't beat much past level 2, 3 or 4 or something in the first day or so. But it does also open people up to the fact that there's a bunch of other stuff to do in the game than just grind campaign. And campaign probably looks and feels quite boring quite quick. So I don't mind it. You almost want there to be a warning that says, yeah, do the dungeons at level 6, but then get back to campaign because that's where you're going to get all of your early advancements. But I do kind of agree. And in terms of a feature in the game, I guess actually I didn't really say it for this one. Gem Mine, I think, yeah, it's fine. It's a good feature. Clan Boss, I think, is still the #1 feature in the game. I think it's the #1 game mode. And I think it's one of the best put together bosses that we've got in Raid. The dungeons, we've got some really good variety of fights. Yeah, I play Eternal Evolution as well now. They've got some different variety fights as well. I feel like Raid have done dungeons really well. Like a new player coming in, got Spider, Fire Knight, Ice Golem, and Dragon. They all fight really differently. Yeah, so you have to kind of use your brain to come up with different team comps, and you have to try and, you know, unlock the way that you're going to be able to fight these different dungeons. So I think the early style dungeons that Raid made were actually really good. I think they're a really good feature in the game. Guardian Ring is probably quite confusing for new players. So at level 15, you unlock Guardian Ring. The sparring pits is an okay feature. I think it's way overpriced for gems for what it is. Or they actually just need to kind of upgrade the feature so that it makes a bit more sense. It makes more sense that perhaps instead of just unlocking one level at a time, maybe as you level, the ability to unlock further levels would be good. You know, so let's say you're a level 30, then actually you can store enough XP to level up a hero or champion to perhaps like 4 or 5 levels in advance instead of just 1. So I think it's an okay feature. The rest of the things in the Guardian Ring, like empowerment and faction guardians and token trader and stuff like that, I think, and I don't know if they are already, by the way, but I think they should be kind of grayed out and almost inaccessible until a later level. So I would almost kind of use those two as 2 separate things. But in terms of as a feature, I like faction guardians as a feature. I kind of think the sparring pits is okay. I think empowerment is kind of close to borderline what started to break the game, certainly the arena meta. And I think token trader is the forgotten uncle in the corner that isn't getting his Christmas pudding. Faction Wars unlocks at level 20. I like this. I think it's about the right time. You won't be able to do a lot, but you will be able to go in and do another feature and kind of play a few levels each day. You'll get some extra rewards that you can use. It's key based, so you know at this point you're probably running out of energy through your days playing the game. So it's key based. It means you've got something else you can just do which doesn't cost you anything. And over time, Faction Wars is like the long-term burn, the grind, and you get a really good reward at the end of it. I think that Faction Wars is actually a really great feature in the game. The Forge comes in at 30. When this comes in, it's like that. Hallelujah. Perception gear just boosted my account. And I think the Forge is one of the best things they added over the last kind of like 18 months. It's been really good. And alongside Doom Tower, which we'll get into in a minute, I think these two features, like back to back, are really strong. I think they're really good for the game. I do think they need to update some of the like gear sets that are in there. Some of them are just kind of useless. So it's definitely something they could go back on. They're pretty bad at going back on stuff and getting it done. They don't mention in here free versus free arena, which I think comes in at level 35, if I remember rightly from my free-to-play account. Maybe they didn't put it in there just because it is, honestly, a poor feature. Yeah, it's not 3v3 arena. It's classic arena times 3. And I think it unlocks a bit early. You don't have the champions ready to do it. The bazaar is bizarre. Like, I don't understand how they have not updated that bazaar to be better. The only good thing about the 3v3 arena is that people can get Drexar, who is a great champion. The bad thing about that as well, though, is you can't just kind of like rack up points and buy him. It's a 100-day investment, and you have to buy the token every single day. So I think the bazaar badly needs an overhaul, and then all of a sudden 3v3 might be a bit more desirable. I think as well, reduce the amount of battles per day. Yeah, probably half the battles per day, but double the reward, and people would be a bit more interested in it. It just takes too long. Artifact Ascension then, and the Sand Devil, these two come in back to back at 38. The new features, for me, these unlock way too early. Like crazy amount too early. Yeah. We also get advanced quests around here somewhere as a feature, which I really like. I talked about this in a video recently. This unlocks way too early. People should not be touching this dungeon until probably level 60 or 70. It's far too early. You do not need to ascend gear at level 38 because the gear you've got is just crap. Yeah, the gear you've got is just absolutely horrendous at this point. You do not want to be investing your energy in this dungeon. It's a really poor spot to put it in. So I know they're probably doing it for their kind of shareholder ratings and stuff, but honestly, you need to rethink this one. It's not good. It's not good, and it will put a lot of people off. They get there and they're like, wow, I'm burning all this energy for what is just a meager upgrade on my crap piece of gear. It's a terrible time to unlock this. Forge Pass at 40. I think as a feature, actually, I'll just go back to this. As a feature, I think Artifact Ascension is kind of weak. I wish it was just something that says make your piece mythical, and then whatever you've already upgraded on that piece gets upgraded further. And then the actual dungeon, I actually kind of think it's fun. I've been playing around with it a lot on the test server. It's a fun dungeon. It's just the thing that comes out the other end of it is not worth the effort in the dungeon, actually, for me. I actually quite like the dungeon. So, yeah, for me, it's actually not a bad one. It's growing on me. I just don't like what comes out the other end of it at the moment. So, yeah, Forge Pass, okay feature. I much preferred the old Battle Pass to Forge Pass. But some of the new gear sets that come out of it are actually good. Bolster set's very good. So, from that point, it's not bad. But Battle Pass definitely was a better feature when that was around first time round. You know, it's just more interesting. Getting shards, getting champions, getting glyphs, all that type of stuff is more interesting than just picking up gear. Doom Tower at level 40. It's an okay time to unlock it. You can work through some of the normal Doom Tower at this sort of point, but it's extremely tough. Like a Bommel rotation, you're probably not getting past that first boss at all on normal at level 40, unless you really know what you're doing in the game. So I think it's an okay time to do it. Perhaps could do with going back another 5 to 10 levels. Maybe level 50 would be more suited. But it is a fun section. And I actually think this might be my favorite feature they've added to Raid since I've played the game. Yeah, so Clan Boss I still think is the best feature in the game. I think Doom Tower is probably the best thing they've added since I've been playing. And I really like the different bosses. I like the different rotations. In fact, if I was leading this game, I would be like, give me more of the same. I want to see another rotation of bosses, perhaps 2 new bosses, and then throw in 2 of the other bosses into a 4th rotation. I really think it's a great addition to the game. I do think they need to rethink a few of the artifact sets, which are just complete trash. Affinity Breaker is the first one that springs to mind. It's complete arse. The set makes no sense. But yeah, overall as a feature, I think it's really good. You've then got the Altar of Souls at level 42. So this is the whole Blessings and Ascension of Champions. I actually think Blessings is fun. And I think the twin fortress which comes out at the same time, the Iron Twins, is an okay dungeon. I think there's far too few ways to do it. I think Geomancer as one champion shouldn't be the sole way to do it with any sort of speed. Yeah, so the whole Blessings thing is okay. The rewards for doing Iron Twins is still just too meager. Yeah, which means that you don't get many souls. And when you do get them, they're not necessarily for champions that you own, which sucks as well. So I think there's a lot of stuff they could do to improve it and make it a bit more player friendly. And if you did that, then I think the actual Blessings that are added to the game, it's a fun addition. But there's just too many things which put people off of it, basically. And then at level 45, you unlock Hydra. Now, Hydra was their kind of big 2021 Christmas drop. It flopped, honestly, when it came out. It was way overtuned. They didn't really consider how players would play the mode. And since then, they have made some changes throughout the year. And I actually like Hydra now. I didn't like it at first. I like it now. I still feel like there could be some slightly better rewards or slightly different rewards that are a bit more sexy that people would want to go and get. After you get Mithrala as a champion, I bet a lot of people stop playing it. I still play it, and in fact, I play it more because I really would like more souls for the Blessings and the Altar of Souls. But the game mode now is actually much more fun. I think it unlocks a little bit early at level 45. Probably should be more like 50-55 when people have got a slightly more stacked roster. But yeah, I think normal Hydra is definitely doable for a lot of players, and they don't realize it. And getting Mithrala is huge. After that, if they just put in something like old fragments for past fusions where that Mithrala spot was, I think you'd see engagement go up massively. So, I don't know, guys. Let me know what you think. Did I call any differently to what you would have done? Or actually, are you pretty comfortable with the way these come out? Yeah, there you go. I've been Hell Hades. I'll see you later.